send me an email, okay? Your work schedule, put that in your calendar, especially if your work schedule changes. When I used to work at Safeway, I'd have a different schedule every single week, and it was just really confusing to keep track of it, okay? And this is something you might not think about, but if you're making payments on something, it's a really good idea to put your due dates in your calendar. So, like let's say you're paying on
Enemy
your
UAV
phone,
overhead.
and your phone payment is due on the 15th of the month. Put a reminder in on the 12th or the 13th, so you make sure your payment is in by the 15th. I know this sounds kind of weird now, but I'm trying to prepare you for your whole life, not just for the next 4 years of it. And if you have to start out with bad credit, your life is gonna suck in a lot of ways. So start your credit early and keep it good. We'll talk more about that later. I'm trying to get to the chat again. Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do, Anthony, and it works. It works, it works, it works. Okay? So, something that's kind of like a calendar, but not, is your to-do list or your task manager. Okay? So you can use your calendar for your events and a to-do list or task manager for your tasks. And the difference between an event and a task is tasks are things you need to accomplish, but they don't require you to keep an appointment. So that's why you only need a to-do list. And what I use for that is a big huge desk calendar and then the calendar in my planner. So then that helps me plan my lessons. I can list out what I'm going to teach when. And speaking of that, I have
loadout drop
scheduled
inbound.
work in Schoology, and I've added due dates for the few assignments that I know we're going to have due. And I'm currently working on the government one. And that's reminded me as to why I need
Gas is closing. Get to the new safe zone.
those trackers. And I'm trying to show you an example. Well, I'll show you with this one. Okay, so this is what I use for like my government stuff. You know,
Enemy dropping into the AO.
So
Enemy UAV overhead.
Teach it and how long it's going to take. Or maybe there we go. Okay. And so I saved it so next year I'll have a general idea for what I needed to do and what I did. So that's how I keep organized in that way. And I'm still more. You could do this online. I don't have the skills to do that online. So
Enemy
that's why I'm
UAV
still a
overhead.
paper person. Okay. Any questions so far? Good. All right. Okay. So events. If you're meeting with the professor, if there's a class you have to attend, if you have to rehearse for a music ensemble that you're in, if you have to go to a concert for your music, if you any of that. Those are things that should go on your, it could be considered events, where you either have to differently, or meet somebody in a Zoom room, or something like that.
Welcome to the Gulag. If you survive, you earn your freedom.
Breaking an essay in the
Listen up, soldier. Win here and you return to the front line. But if you lose, you're done. Sort them out or capture the objective.
For the choir performance. Those are tasks, not events. Your concert would be the event. Learning the song for it is the task. Okay? So, to set up a to-do list, again, brain dump. Things to do.
Stand by for reinforcement.
Or your house, or your regular room. You work so much better in a clean environment. And again, I'm a testament to that, because cleaning my desk is so important for me to get done. I never used to think that, but now I'm going to be taking it myself because my desk is I didn't want anybody to see how messy my desk is. But now my desk is always and I'm much more efficient that way. Okay, preparing meals. I'm not sure if you take your lunch if you prepare your meal, or at least plan what you're going to have ahead of time, you're not spending
still free.
They are still free?
I just found out that it's still free for the rest of the year.
Excellent. So, you don't have to worry about packing lunch because lunches are free. You can get them all year at school.
Fort Hart out there.
Okay, so if you're in a club and you have tasks to do, especially if you're an officer and are like in charge of stuff, put that in your to-do list. And then anything else you do outside of class. Okay, so here's a couple of online to-do list things. We're at the end of class. I'm going to give you plenty of time to look at them, so I'm just going to talk about them now. Okay, so if you're using a digital system, things that you have to do regularly, like take the trash out to the street on Wednesdays, or do calculus problems for this, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you can set them up as reoccurring, so you only have to put them in once, but they will happen. They will remind you every week. Okay, questions on this one?
Doesn't Cozy do that too?
Yeah, we'll talk about all those at the end. These were just two that I had people tell me that they really liked them. KJ, I think they're available on both. That's something you can explore when we have time to explore. That's actually a good point. Nobody asked about that this morning, so you can find that out for us. All right, the ones I have listed are all websites, but then people were talking about how they downloaded some of the apps, so I think some of them might be either or, but I'm not positive. Okay? Plan your timelines. Like, don't just say, oh, whatever happens, happens. Set aside a few minutes every week to review the assignments that are due over the next 2 weeks. And I say work 2 weeks ahead, because then you'll never fall behind. Okay? These will go on your task list. If you have questions about an assignment, this is the perfect time to write them down so you can let your professor know that you have a question before the assignment is due. I do this on Monday mornings. I wake up an hour early on Monday mornings so I can make sure that I'm set for the week. And it just is so much more helpful than waiting till Monday to decide what I'm going to do on Monday, and on Tuesdays, let me see what I'm going to do today. Life is so much less hectic when you plan in advance. It's like front loading. Have you ever heard of what front loading is? I'm going to take that as no, and quickly explain.
Isn't it like doing all of the work that you need to do ahead of time, and then like doing them all? It's like the opposite of procrastinating. Almost, you do everything right as it's assigned, rather than letting it wait.
It's a lot like that, but sometimes you can't do all of your work ahead of time. So by front loading is sometimes if it's going to take you an hour or an hour and a half to get everything set up the way you want, my big thing is like, I don't have to.
Get yourself sorted. We'll be deployed shortly.
So much easier. I actually broke that big long so if I need to send an email, and it did take me quite a while to do that. But now if I need to when in government class, I just go to that list and send, I just send an email like that. Before I have to, this in here and the next person and do the thing, and it would take me
Enough practice. Time for the real thing.
It took me to make my 6 different classes. So that's kind of what I'm doing. That makes sense? Yeah, and you do
Ignore that. Marking landing zone!
Alright.
Be advised, gas is closing in. Proceed to the safe zone.
As for a study schedule, okay? Make your appointments. Sometimes you might want to set a study calendar, a study day, every once a week or once every 2 weeks you meet with somebody from your math class. And you can do that like when you get starting on the 8th, do in a week, and you have a meeting set up with your professor or the writing center, or Rayleigh, or myself to help you with it, have your paper written a week before it's due. So you
Heads
can
target
your
looking.
professor and do that, you know? And you'll have your work done on time. Anything from that, that you're going
You're
to
in the
meet with,
gulag now.
have the
Fight to earn
questions that
redeployment.
don't say, oh, I'm not really, because that's really frustrating for somebody who's trying to teach you something. So know what you want before you get help, okay? If it's possible. Okay?
Fight's on.
Taking notes is the best way to learn.
Get ready to
something.
fight. You're next.
It's the best way for retention. Sometimes it's hard to take notes on paper if all of
Win
your
here and you
classes
return
are
to the front
online.
line.
Okay,
You
I'm a
lose, your
big
fight
note
is
taker
over.
when it comes to pencil and paper.
Sort them out and capture the objective.
And there were a couple others that the kids found out they
Go back to the front line.
I like to take notes on them, but I just found out to scan your notes into Ethernet. So that's kind of super cool because I have my handwritten notes.
Located
and I
bounty
also have
contract.
digitalized notes in my folder for that class. Okay? If you do it after class, it's going to be the
Being tracked by an enemy team. Stay sharp.
and physical class materials inside. Okay? You don't have a syllabus and handouts and presentations that you need to track. So if you keep them organized in the either a binder, but for the online, I seriously think you should still use your Google Drive or whatever you do, whatever. I don't know.
Bounty target identified. Slot the
I
bastard.
don't know what that was called, but have them all together. Okay? Organize Evernote to do that too. And Notion. I really like Notion, some of them didn't like it at all. So,
The enemy took that one, but we'll be back to finish the job.
software organizational labs is like having a personal assistant. So we're not movie stars who have personal assistants to help us dress and get our work done. So we have to rely on what we have. And by making yourself self-reliant, that's the best thing you can do, because these good habits and study skills you're learning now will help you in life when you have a real job and you have your business or you're doing whatever you're doing, okay? So, engrave and explore. I'm going to give you, when I'm done talking, I'll give you 15 full minutes to look at these sites. Here are some sites that I have found. They've been recommended, or I've seen them listed as useful sites on more than two or three websites, okay? The first one is the one Seda talked about earlier, which is Cozy. The cool thing about Cozy is that you can include all of your family stuff in there. It's like a multi-purpose use thing. So a couple of the kids really liked it, okay? So you can do calendar features and to-do lists and stuff like that. Evernote is to keep your notes and to-dos organized. You can even scan your papers into that. The Todoist is a handy app that tracks assignments. It also bookmarks web pages, which if you don't bookmark web pages you use frequently, you should. You just click the little star up in the address bar, and then you put them in a nice folder, and anything that you use for your math class could be in your math folder. Then you don't have to type in the URL all the time, or if you forget it, you don't have to search for it. So you can organize those also. Quizlet is a study tool. Okay, it's not much of an organization tool for tasks or stuff like that, but if you have an organized way to study, that's super helpful. Okay, remember the milk. It was really funny this morning. Somebody said they really did not want to use it because
Get yourself the proper warm-up. We'll be deployed soon.
but remember grocery store and they say, hey, don't forget the milk.
Enemy dropping into the AR.
Really liked online map. Again, this is more of a created digital map.
jumping into the area. Alright, that's enough fucking about. Now we do this for real.
Calendars. It's very, very customized. That was one of the big things about it. Okay, technology. There are rules inside. You have 15 minutes to explore them. I want you to get to it. And I want you to come up with basically
Battle
reviews.
Royale.
Okay?
Be advised, gas is
Like it,
closing in.
not like
Proceed
it.
to the safe zone.
Why or why not? Okay? So, at 1:45, we're going to have a discussion. And that's when you're going to talk about what you thought. Okay? So, before we all do that, if you have your camera on right this moment, please put your thumbs up next to your name. All right, thank you. That's okay. You'll start remembering. I promise you will. I told you I wasn't going to remind you at the beginning of class anymore. So, you have 15 minutes. So go. Room. Don't leave the room. Anthony, yours is in and out, so I'm forgiving you on this one. We'll figure that out. So, in 15 minutes, at 1:45, I'm just going to start talking again. You got to be back on time. If you're going to turn your camera off, I don't care about that right now because you're doing something independently. So I'm just at 1:45. I'm just going to start back up. All right. Questions? What are you supposed to do? What are we doing for the next 15 minutes? Okay, 3 websites, and then what are you supposed to do? Review them. Yes. All right, I'm done talking. I'm turning off my mic. If you need something, just shout out. Okay?
Just gonna shout out real quick. How in depth would you want the interviews to be? I mean, the reviews.
We just want them, did you like it or not? Why did you like it? Why didn't you like it? I mean, you only have 15 minutes to do 3 sites, so.
All right, makes sense. Thank you.
Yes. You don't write them anywhere. You are going to discuss them. We are going to discuss them out loud without written words. And I'm going to call on people randomly, so.
Awesome. Looking forward to that.
That's how we're doing it. Okay, you guys know we're reviewing websites. They just have to be, do you like them? Do you not like them? What's the best thing about them? Why don't you like it?
target practice while you can. We're deploying soon. Enemy soldier incoming. You're done warming up. Stand by for deployment to the war zone. Battle Royale. You've got gas closing in fast. Get to the safe zone.
Marking landing zone.
Eliminate all targets in the AO. Enemy soldier incoming. Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy soldier incoming.
Tango.
Gas is inbound. UAV overhead. You're in the gulag now. Fight to earn redeployment. Here we go. Get ready to fight. You're next. Listen up, soldier. Win here and you return to the front line. But if you lose, you're done. Time to earn your freedom, soldier.
Okay,
You're going back to the front line. Burn it.
you can explore both sides if you'd like, just for the last couple of minutes.
Located bounty contract.
Bounty target identified. Slot the bastard.
Alright, so make any changes that you're going to make, or I don't want to cut you off like without warning. I don't hear your warning.
Waypoint marked. Move.
Got a loadout drop inbound. Bounty target is down. Well done. Gas is closing. Get to the new safe zone.
Oh, shall be well.
Okay, so I did Cozy, Evernote, and then Quizlet. So Cozy, I mean, it was okay. I wouldn't use it for like schoolwork, but I feel like my parents would like it because they always ask me like what my work schedule is, and then I always have to look it up like every 2 hours. And then Evernote, I really liked that one. Because I also like to write down my notes. And I want to scan it. And then for Quizlet, what?
Oh, I just said that's excellent.
Oh. And then for Quizlet, I mean, I've used that before, but it's like, I mean, it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
I use Quizlet like in replace of like many places.
Yeah, and Quizlet is one where the loading is really, really important because if you take the time to make your own Quizlet card, that's going to take you a while, but you'll have them there to study whenever you want. Okay? So, that's a good thing. Alright, thank you. Let's go with Kemwell.
Gas is closing in.
Kemwell, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So the ones that I did Cozy, Remember the Milk, and Quizlet. I liked Quizlet the best. The user interface was the best in my opinion. And then Remember the Milk, the user interface was really bad.
How was it bad?
Everything was like, it was just really complicated to like see everything.
Okay. And what was the third one you did?
Cozy.
Okay. Alright. So do you think you're going to use any of those, or are you going to look at the other ones just for fun?
I'll probably use Quizlet.
But yeah, perfect. Okay. How about AJ?
So I already used Quizlet for Spanish, and so I. Sorry.